The next little thing that I wanted to get at is, dude, has Benoit Saint-Denis Loki kind of met his match in Dustin Poirier. And this fight has, it honestly is the most exhilarating fight on this card. And that's saying a lot considering the fact that we have some absolute bangers on here. But in my opinion, this fight's a freaking wash right now. And this is what I'm thinking in my head when I'm tallying up the categories. We got striking. Benoit, Dustin. Obviously Dustin, all right? Benoit Sneaky might not be too far away, though. Okay, I get it that he obviously doesn't have the pure, crisp boxing of Dustin Poirier, but when you come out guns a-blazing against Ismail Bonfim or whatever and throw 10 body kicks, that stuff is like unpredictable. It hurts really bad. And also when he's not afraid to get in the pocket and swing, and he has that power to put anybody's lights out on any given moment. So in my mind, that kind of like unpredictability and power evens it out. Even though Dustin is not afraid to get in a dogfight, he can take one on the chin easy, all right? Bam. But I'm still giving it to Dustin. Now, grappling, obviously we're giving it to Benoit Saint-Denis. He can take anybody in the division down, including Islam Makhachev. He can take, he could literally take anybody. He can take Mateusz Gamrot down. I'm telling you. He can take Beneil Dariush down. Charles. Anybody, all right? It's not even a question who's better grappling. When you're so good of a grappler that you're willing to implement plans to get taken down, then get back up to your feet, and then look for openings like you did against Matt Frivola, that says a lot about being next level. Then comes the durability. This is where it's a freaking wash. Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier. War dogs. Absolute. That's why I'm saying this is not a war god in there. Benoit Saint-Denis singular. This is war gods of war plural, bro. Like. That fight against Dan Hooker was ridiculous. The Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos fight where Benoit Saint-Denis, most normal people, like anybody else in the division, that fight would have been called. That fight should have been called. That ref was awful, but I talk about that every single time. Benoit, low-key could have died in there, low-key. But the factor here is that whenever freaking Dustin seems to fight a better grappler than him, they seem to find a way to his back. I.e. Oliveira and Khabib. And that's what I'm saying is I just think that Benoit Saint-Denis is going to find a way to get to Dustin's back no matter how well it's going for him on the feet. And I really just think Benoit is just a different monster right now, man. He is a different monster. And no matter where the fight goes against anybody in the division, I just feel like he is going to make the most out of an opportunity, do some type of reversal, do some type of something crazy, and he's just a straight up killer, straight up finisher. So Benoit versus Dustin is the craziest fight on the card, but oh, dude. I know what I was going to say, dude. Sorry. Is that the last thing that I was going to say about this fight is, does it not feel like the stars are low-key aligning for Benoit here? Is because, like, Dustin, even though he is, like, I guess 7-0 after coming off a loss to an opponent, it's that when you get a guy like Benoit Saint-Denis in there who absolutely, he does not have any fear of any man who steps in across from him in that octagon. When you get a guy like Dustin Poirier, bro, who's already talking about how I can't do this forever, I know, like that's not going to affect him in this fight. But when you already start to have that kind of mindset a little bit, and then couple that with the fact that he got knocked out in his last fight, like I know everybody gets their button pressed occasionally, especially when you're fighting these top guys, but this is just really a really tough matchup to come back off of like a devastating loss like that, especially going unconscious, because Benoit Saint-Denis, he's not going to, the dude, even though he makes mistakes, he'll get tagged on the chin. He'll leave openings for Dustin Poirier. But at the end of the day, It just seems like everything is aligning for Benoit Saint-Denis to get that title shot. And when I get an opportunity like a guy like Dustin Poirier, the next fight for him is going to be a title shot. Like if Billy Poirier gets a title shot after beating Josh Emmett, if he gets an emphatic finish against Dustin Poirier, bro, it's going to be crazy. But just the sky's the limit for him. When I watched Benoit Saint-Denis, ever since his first fight, it's a different beast. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a more exciting Islam Makhachev. It's a Mateusz Gamrot with hands, bro. It's a Mateusz Gamrot with better kicks. It's just a ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous fight. And he's just a ridiculous fighter. But the next thing...